Bellabin Chinese Food kitchen. In today's kitchen, I'm going to share with you a very traditional, very classic Chinese plate. That is Pan Fried Buns Stuffed with Beef and Cabbage. I grew up with eating this. I still remember in the winter time, my grandmother or my mother made a lot and put them in the outside because outside is a natural refrigerator. So when we want to eat, we just take some of them from outside and then steam it. So this is very convenient to eat. It is also very nutritious and very delicious food too. Okay, let's start to take a look how I cooked this food. In this photo and the next photo is all the material I used to make this plate. The first is lean ground beef. It's a very lean ground beef. I use about 3/4 of this one. And then some of the cabbage, green onions, Sichuan pepper, white pepper, ginger, and the cucumber egg are used to make soup. And some white all-purpose flour, some warm water, and pizza yeast sugar. The amount of each ingredient are shown on the photos. First step, let's make a dough. Put 1 bag of pizza yeast into the flour container. And then put 1 teaspoon of sugar. Then drop in the warm water, small drops into the container. Drop some, then stir, drop some, then stir. And make a little dough ball. Continue make a little dough ball. And when you see the dry flour, then you drop a little water, make them into small dough ball. After all the dried flours are made into small dough ball, finally only about 40 milliliters water left. Then we knead the small dough ball into a big dough. And knead the big dough. Make it a soft one. Okay, then it's good. Put a cover. Set aside about 2 hours before we use the dough ball. Next one, we cut the green onions into small pieces. Then cut ginger into small pieces too. Then in the meat container, add in ginger and 1/4 teaspoon of Sichuan pepper and 1/2 teaspoon of white pepper and 1/2 teaspoon salt and 1 tablespoon soya sauce. Stir, mix everything together. Then set aside about 2 hours. Then we cut cabbage into 2 big pieces. Then slice them into small strips. put those ones into the boiling water and boiling them about half a minute. After half a minute, we take out the cabbage and put them into clean, cold water. Then drain the water out, put them onto a cutting board. Chop them into small pieces. Now the cabbage is good. We back to the meat container. After 2 hours, we add in the green onions in the one side of the container. Then add in 1.5 tablespoons of peanut oil onto the green onions. And then stir the green onions. That makes green onions covered with the oil. Okay, now stir the green onions with meat together. Okay, now we squeeze the water out from the cabbage. Squeeze the water out. Okay, then we put the cabbage into the meat container. Add in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then stir everything together. Now the filling is ready. We back to the dough container. After 2 hours, the dough is raised. You see, the dough cannot be too soft. If it's too soft, cannot hold the fillings. Then we knead the dough about 2 minutes. Make it perfect for make the wrapper. Then make it round cake shape. Make a hole in the middle. Then make it a donut shape. Continue doing this, make a big donut shape. Now we cut these big donuts and roll it on the cutting board and make it smooth surface. Then cut it into 22 pieces, small dough pieces. Then sprinkle some dry flowers on the small pieces. Then press on each small pieces. Make press on them and make them a small round shape. We roll the rolling pan onto the round dough on 2 directions. Make it bigger and bigger enough. Then we roll it only on the side. Make the side thinner and thinner because we use the side to seal the inside fillings. Use the left hand to hold the wrapper, then use right hand to get some stuffings. Put the stuffings in the middle of wrapper. Then combine 2 sides in the middle. Then combine more into one. Move left hand, get more new edge and combine to the old ones. Continue to do this, then combine all together into one in the middle. Okay, we finished one. Another example. Screw the rolling pan onto the round small dough and make it thinner in the side. And then put stuffing in the middle of the wrapper. Then combine two sides into one into the middle. Continue, combine more sides in the middle. And finally make one. Set aside buns for at least 10 minutes before we fry them. Now I cut cucumbers and coriander and beat eggs. That's ready for make soup. Now we heat a non-stick pan over medium heat. Add in half tablespoon of peanut oil. Then we put in buns. We put buns, make sure each buns have some oil on the bottom. Okay. So we need to have 2 times fry. Because totally we have 22 buns. Then fry a little bit to check if the bottom is becoming brown or harder. If it becomes brown color and a little harder, it's time for us to put in waters. We put in 2 cups of cold water into the pan. Then cover it. Then boiling it about 10 minutes. Then we come back to make the soup, cucumber soup. And when the water is boiling, we put in the cucumbers and 1/4 teaspoon salt and then liquid potato starch. Then drop in the egg small drops. When it is boiling, then drop in a little bit sesame oil. Then the soup is ready. Now we back to the buns. After 10 minutes, we need to keep eyes on the bottom of the pan to see how much water left in the pan. If there is only a little water left in the pan, it's a time for us to turn off the stove. But make sure we don't open the cover. We still need to put the cover on at least 5 minutes or 10 minutes before we open the cover. Okay, now it's 8 minutes. We open the cover. Let's see. Oh, looking nice. We turn one, see. Oh, little brown color on the bottom. Okay, the skin looks like really soft. And the nice color on the bottom. Oh, really soft on the skin. Wow, that's really nice. You see the skin on the bottom. It looks like delicious. Oh, let's my husband to try if it's delicious.
No.
You see, the liquid sauce is soya sauce, vinegar, and the chili oil mixture.
Delicious.
Looks like he liked this plate very much. How about you? Do you like this recipe? Could you give me some comments? Or please subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.
Yeah, very good.